Good evening, friends, and welcome. We're so glad that all of you have decided to spend time with us this evening as we publicly launch our new initiative, All In. Now, the All In campaign is a call to action, a call to go deeper and wider. Deeper into our purpose as individuals and wider in how we connect with each other, serve, and show up in our community. If you're anything like Bill and I, you're feeling a little bit of a nudge, maybe a lot bit of a nudge to go deeper, a nudge to do something greater, something bigger beyond ourselves, and to make decisions today and take actions today that will shape our future. And that's what All In is about. It's about more than a campaign. It's a movement to go deeper into purpose, calling, and commitment.
This is a really special moment in the history of Breakthrough. Not unlike that first cup of coffee 30 years ago or the opening of the Familyplex in 2015. There's so much we want to share with you over the next 30 minutes about what we have planned at Breakthrough.
But before we do, we are first and foremost a community of people. So let's do what we do, people. Take out your phones. We want to know how you're spending the evening with us. Take a selfie, either with your family or with your friends, and post it. Send it to us. Oh, you're going to take one,
Yeah,
Bill?
let's take one right now.
Go.
Nice.
That was nice. We've done ours. Now you do yours. And be sure to use the hashtag BreakthroughAllIn.
Well, first of all, let me just say this, pause. To be given a life work that is meaningful and gives someone purpose is an amazing grace.
I first met Arloa 20 years ago. I was graduating high school.
I remember first meeting Arloa back in the summer of 2000 at the Northside Breakthrough campus.
We're neighbors, so we'll have to have a cookout or something.
I first met Arloa with my mother at the October benefit in 2014.
All right, well, we gotta get that snowblower going because you know we'll probably have another bout of snow.
I've known Arloa for over 30 years. So for me to say that Breakthrough has changed my life is really an understatement.
All right, we ready for some coffee? The Breakthrough story is that we started with a cup of coffee in a drop-in center on the north side. And people came in because they were cold and tired and hungry. And we gave them coffee and soup for lunch. And pretty soon the little storefront room filled up. So coffee has always been meaningful to me. When I was a kid on the farm, my bedroom window overlooked an orchard where I could see the sun rise. And I remember looking out that window and knowing God had a plan for my life. I think we're all created with that, just like we're created with lungs and ears and eyes. God wove us together in our mother's womb and gave us meaning. Breakthrough is what I was created to do. But I know that Breakthrough has this anointing, which is really just this blessing of God to do this work. And I see it now through so many other people who joined the work. You know, the staff who've rolled up their sleeves and really worked hard. The guests who come in who are so interesting, so inspiring in the ways that they overcome. And the people who bring leadership, board members, consultants, volunteers who put in hours and hours. To be able to be part of that network of support on behalf of the people that Breakthrough serves I have learned so much. And I couldn't be more grateful for the years that God has let me be part of Breakthrough. I see Breakthrough just as an infant. We just got started. But I know Breakthrough will way outlast me and will become even greater in its impact in the years to come. Lord only knows what can happen when people come together with meaning and purpose and do what's right and good in the world. Oh, there he goes. Are we done now?
As a leader, I get excited about Breakthrough because the tradition of our organization has been rooted in this idea that we are faithful people driven to do good work. We do it because we love people. We're not just looking at the individual. It also means that we are concerned about the community. For the last 25 years, I have lived, worked, and worshiped on the west side of Chicago. There's this sense that when you come here that yes, things are hard, but that we were created to be victorious over the hard things. And that is the west side that I know.
I met Yolanda 15 years ago, and we were having lunch at the Women's Center. She walked in, and I could just remember the smile and the sort of like the joy that she brought with her.
There's so many times when I've interacted with Yolanda when I've been in the middle of a crisis, and her faith and her strength have just encouraged me and lifted me up. And so my faith has then grown.
Yolanda make you feel wanted, make you feel valuable. She always say, you know, I need you, we need you as an organization, the community needs you, right? And just knowing that makes you want to go to work and give your best.
When the city calls, and when the government calls, and when community partners call, they're calling Yolanda. They're saying, we're trying to solve this problem that's happening in our community. And they're leaning on her for leadership, and they're trusting her voice, especially now.
All the time, kids will ask me, like, Miss Anna, who runs Breakthrough? Being able to say, like, Miss Yolanda is now the leader, for them to be able to see that a beautiful, amazing person in power looks like them. They can see themselves represented in what she does and who she is. Representation does matter, but Yolanda is more than just optics. What she has to offer is really incredible, and I'm really looking forward to what she's gonna bring for Breakthrough.
I know Yolanda Fields will give it her heart and soul. She already is, and she has been for the last 20 years. And I know that she'll be able to carry Breakthrough, along with all the others who are involved, to the next level.
We really value collaboration and being more community-driven. And I think Yolanda embodies those values. I think she'll carry on that legacy that our LOA has founded in us in a really, really cool way going forward.
Legacy is one of those words that I feel surrounds me. I am often reminded just about the choices I've made. And so me personally, I have decided that I'm gonna be accountable. My legacy for my two girls will be that of works, that I stood up, that I made myself available, and that I poured out everything I had to making sure that inequities were dismantled, that people felt loved, and that the grace of God was shed abroad. going to open us up in prayer. God, we thank you so much. You are an amazing God. You are strong and mighty in battle. We thank you that throughout the years you have been consistently faithful, that you have covered us individually. My prayer for Garfield Park is that God's presence will be known, experienced in a full way. I pray for liberation, that those who need to earn a livable wage will be able to do so, that there would be affordable housing, that legacy residents could remain, and that the end of all of these things would result in a joyful, thriving Garfield Park community. We have been strategic for a very long time. We have thought about what the issues are. We're intimately acquainted with them, and we have solutions. I grew up with this idea that faith without works is dead. Love requires action, and so this is the time to act. We can't wait another day. Lives are at stake. However we demonstrate our commitment to Christ, it needs to be expressed through people. The mark of God's love will be forever present here in Garfield Park because we showed up. This next chapter of Breakthrough's story demands that we build on the legacy of faith and purpose, not just for ourselves, but for our community, our city, and our nation. Every day in East Garfield Park, we see, feel, and experience the impact of inequities, but we believe that change is possible. We invite you now to learn more about our community, the inequities that we face, and why the All In campaign is more important now than ever. Chicago. We're one city made up of 77 neighborhoods. And while the city is our home and we love it, the unfortunate truth is this.
The neighborhood you live in is a huge factor in the types of jobs that you have available to you, education, transportation, life expectancy, and even the daily struggles you face.
Our neighborhood, East Garfield Park, is just 4 miles west of downtown Chicago. And although we're a beautiful community filled with 20,000 residents who are resilient and full of hope, we are still facing a mountain of challenges brought on by systems of racial injustice that have marginalized and oppressed residents within our community and the way we experience everyday life. These effects are real and long-lasting. Here are just a few.
The median household income here in East Garfield Park is $21,000. While 2 L stops away in the West Loop, it's $102,000.
18% of our neighbors are unemployed. Just a 20-minute drive up the street to Lincoln Park, that rate drops to 4%.
The life expectancy of a Chicagoan drops from 82 years old for those living downtown to 68 in our community. That's a 14-year difference, just 2 neighborhoods away.
While a public high school in Chicago's Gold Coast boasts a graduation rate of 96%, just take a 17-minute bus ride to East Garfield Park, where the students, teachers, and administration are up against so much, and see that rate fall to 50%.
Most of us are aware of historic redlining, but a 2020 study reveals a version of modern-day redlining. Minorities pay between 3 and 5% more in fees than similarly qualified whites when obtaining a loan from that same white broker. This same study also showed that in Chicago's 77 communities, lenders invested more in one white community than all of the Black neighborhoods combined. Rising unemployment rates, A decline in the median household income, on top of discriminatory lending practices, makes home ownership nearly impossible within our community. Well, let me be clear. That makes home ownership nearly impossible for the current residents within our community.
For us and our neighbors, these inequities are hard to overcome. But overcoming is exactly what is happening here at Breakthrough.
Inside our walls, more than 1,000 students like me are being prepared to drive in school each day. And not only that, we are graduating and going to college. Last year alone, Breakthrough awarded college scholarships to 40 students, and 56 were equipped with the things they needed for their dorms at the annual trunk party. Each year, 1,200 adults are accessing critical medical and mental health care and are equipping themselves to earn a living through Breakthrough's housing programs. In 2020, every family who Breakthrough has partnered with through permanent supportive housing has remained housed for the entire year. And not only that, 13,000 local families are receiving high-quality, healthy food each year through our Fresh Market. With stories like these happening every day at Breakthrough, we know that a different future is possible for our neighborhood.
A future where what is happening inside the walls of Breakthrough is happening all across Garfield Park, our city, and our country.
A future where there's housing for families experiencing homelessness, opportunities for economic stability and mobility, and access to college and careers for high school students.
A future where the neighborhood that you're born into doesn't determine the life that you'll live.
At Breakthrough, this vision is becoming a reality. I'm all in. We're all in. Are you?
Good evening, I'm Mary Lou Fearwald.
Hi, and I'm Terry Truex.
We are the campaign co-chairs, and for the last 3 years, Terry and I have been leading Breakthrough in the All In campaign.
You know, for the last 20 minutes or so, you've heard a whole lot of things that have been happening at Breakthrough, some really, really exciting stuff. And Mary Lou and I are really excited now to talk to you a little bit more specifically about what we've been doing with the campaign and to get into details a little bit more. First, you know, when we started this campaign, our goal was to raise $9 million. That's a lot of money.
That's a good amount.
Yes, indeed. And why? What were we trying to do with that money? Well, there were 4 basic areas that we were focused on. First, we wanted to provide innovative and robust programming across the Breakthrough Network. Second, we were very interested in expanding and then formalizing, importantly, our community-wide enrichment initiatives for the entire East Garfield Park community. Third, we knew how important it was. We're sitting here in a building to have infrastructure that was well-equipped, state-of-the-art, made a difference. And not just infrastructure in terms of the buildings, which are important, but the internal bones that helped equip our staff in all the ways that we needed that to happen. And then fourth, and really importantly, as we think about legacy, building a model that had evidence-based metrics at its heart and that was replicable. Those 4 things is what was the focus of this campaign as we got it started.
Absolutely. Because of the generosity of so many people early on in this campaign, we have been able to accomplish a substantial amount on those goals. First, we have grown the youth programs by 100%. We have 4 preschool classrooms that are fully operational, and the after-school programs are filled. We are now serving nearly 1,000 students per year, and that number is growing every day. Second, we have expanded opportunities and access to mental health resources, which we all know is so important. And we've done that by partnerships and increased staff.
There's more, Mary Lou, right? We've increased and improved our infrastructure for our staff by equipping them more effectively. But we've also added physical structures, and that includes adding our new Violence Prevention Hub. With this new Violence Prevention Hub, we are on track to bring in 50 new people who will help to respond not only directly to acts of violence, but also work to provide resource and support to victims and their families across East Garfield Park.
And there's still so much more work to do. Tonight, we've been fortunate enough to hear from so many people who are living their purpose every single day. And I'll give you a little background on our family. We've been involved in Breakthrough for about 12 years now. We came down to work at the Christmas store. We knew this was a different organization right away. We went home that day, and the whole family was really impressed with the staff and the people we met from this community. And we wanted to be part of it. We really like the fact that they're focused on this 40-block area where you can see results of the work you're doing. It's a faith-based organization, and that's very important to our family. And the staff are from the neighborhood, they live in the neighborhood, and they really understand the issues that are happening in the neighborhood that they serve.
My own family has a similar story about our connection to Breakthrough. My wife and I have been connected to Breakthrough and our kids for many years, and it's been transformative. It's changed the way that I think about the world, and I dare say even the way my family thinks about the world, and it certainly has changed me. When I think about this campaign, at the end of the day, as we said, we're trying to raise $9 million. Well, to date, as you know well, through the incredible support of so many people, we've raised $7.4 million so far.
Fantastic.
It's a lot of money. But for those math folks out there, you know, if we need to raise $9 million and we've only raised $7.4 million, that means we need to raise $1.6 million more dollars. And why? Why do this? Well, we have 3 bold visions that we want to talk to you about tonight. First, we have laid the groundwork for family housing here in East Garfield Park that will matter and make a difference. And we're very excited about it. We've got the groundwork laid for a multi-family housing program right here on our campus if we can meet this challenge that lays in front of us.
And the second goal is equally important. It's the Economic Opportunity Center, which will be right here in East Garfield Park. Breakthrough has always done a great job of addressing issues of poverty. And underlying those issues are unemployment, housing, financial stability, and wellness. This Economic Opportunity Center will address those issues as an entity on its own. And then the third goal, which we have, really addresses our young adults. We have a fantastic preschool program and many fantastic after-school programs, but we really want to focus on addressing the needs of our young adults, whether they want to go to college or have a career. So there will be a formalized career and college track for our high schoolers.
And so what are we asking you tonight to listen into and lean into a bit? Well, first, there's a number of ways that you can help tonight if this has moved you in some way. First, this is a video, and some of you are sitting there watching this live tonight on April 22nd. You can take this video when it's done and you can cascade it. You can amplify the power of this by sharing this with your other family members, with people at work, right, with people in your faith networks, in your business networks, et cetera. You can cascade this and use your power to do that.
Absolutely.
Second, though, we need you to think about giving money. Money matters, right? And there's lots of ways that you can participate in this way. I would challenge Mary Lou and I both everyone listening tonight to think a little big. Think about the legacy that Arloa Sutter, for those of you who know Arloa, have left. And for those of you who are being introduced to Breakthrough for the first time, think about what you've heard tonight. Here's what I challenge you with. If you're a first-time giver wondering how can I participate? How can I step into this? Well, we have an opportunity from a generous donor to match in a very significant way your gift. We want you to think big. If you were thinking tonight, well, maybe I can write a check for $100, what would it take for you to stretch that and maybe write a check for $500, which would get matched and turn that $500 gift into $1,000? Or how about some of you who were thinking about really being bold of writing a check for $1,000? How about turning that into $5,000 by writing a check for $5,000, and that will make that $5,000 gift a $10,000 gift. And listen, I know some of you tonight because I invited some of you to listen in, and I know the Fierwalds did, and I know many members of our board did and staff. You have the capacity to do more than that. And if you can write a check for 5, why not write it for 10? And if you can write a check for 10, some of you out there can write a check for $25,000. And if you were to do that and it would get matched, that $25,000 gift would be turned into 50. And I'm even going to be so bold, Mary Lou, to say that there's a handful of people out there that have been richly blessed.
Yes.
That have the ability to write some gift that has a 6-figure to it, which is an amazing gift and would make a huge impact in this community. Will you partner with us tonight? Will you? Will you engage and say yes in making a difference of housing and an opportunity center and education?
Kids' lives.
Kids' lives, right, exactly. That's what we're doing. That's what we're up to. That's why we're excited. That's the legacy that Arloa leaves, the vision that Yolanda and that team of Breakthrough, this entire leadership team has as we think forward.
We are all in, and we would be so honored if you would join us in this campaign. Will you be all in with us?